on. So I know that many of us are waiting for a really great, hopefully really great election results. But even if we do, we need to hold those people accountable too. They're not gonna just think that, oh, because you thought they were the good guy out of the election, that everything's gonna go well. That's not how it happens. People forget where their roots are and who elected them. So we need to remember to keep holding them accountable, and that means showing up at the Capitol. It means asking them to do the work that they said they'd do. And it's making sure that the marginalized communities that they are representing, that they are heard. And that if you aren't of those communities, that you step aside and make sure that those communities' voices are elevated.
That's right. Very nice.
So in our session, we talked about elections and information of how you vote, where to go, how you register, and why those information are very important. And also about the issue when people see intimidated people who have t-shirts that says like, I'm voting for this person or vote for this, or stickers that people don't feel comfortable during the election to see that kind of sign, and what to do when you see people are intimidating or having those signs or papers that tells people to vote for this person. And also we talked about the census and the importance of like knowing where your information is going through and why those information is being collected. And also the importance of looking up your candidates and why it's important to give time to look who are the people that you're gonna vote. And there was a nice saying that was said, you look for, when you want to buy a laptop, you see how the prices are different and all this thing. Why not we do it at the same time with candidates and see how we could elect the best people for the office. And my action to take an actions for voting is, I am an immigrant and a refugee. I don't have the right to vote, and you have that privilege that 1,000 people in the United States don't have the same vote, and your vote counts. So please vote and remember that you count every single minute. Thank you.
In our session, we talked about how to connect with your values and speak from your values, but talk from the vantage point of those who may not agree with you. So coming at mutually held values from different vantage points in an effort to expand the number of people who can fight for those values. We talked about coping with the discomfort of doing that and the challenge of doing that. And the action that I want to encourage all of you to consider is, you don't have to refute every crazy thing that you hear. Please take that home with you. You have something important to say about your vision for this country and the values that you hold, about justice, about inclusivity. Speak from that and stop responding to the fire hose of insanity out there. Every time you repeat that stuff, you give it legs. Speak from your values, speak about your vision for this country, bring it alive.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Lewis. Our session was about systemic leadership within housing and criminal justice, and we didn't really have an opportunity to really do a deep dive on systemic leadership because our panelists were just like dropping all the knowledge. But one of the major takeaways is to understand that what we're seeing in criminal justice and housing, it's all fruit from the same poisonous tree, and the tree is white supremacy, and it's very layered in how it bleeds out into different systems. We even started talking about how it impacts the foster care system and how we see children taken away, and someone calling and calling the police about child maltreatment and how that threatens somebody's housing situation and how they can lose their housing. So one of the actions I just put it out there for the attendees to resonate on about what actions that they can take, small actions they can take within the next 30, 60, and 90 days and do it consistently. I didn't ask them to go out and become Norma Ray overnight or to run for office, but we had one of our elected officials in the audience, and I just made the note that if they got 10 of their friends to call their elected official, I can guarantee you it'll become an issue. There's gonna be a meeting off of 10 people calling. And that shows you how often people do not call their legislators. So do something that simple, like the young woman said down there, hold your elected officials accountable. That's the only way we're gonna really have a representative democracy, if we actually ask them to represent our issues. So.